So, anyone in here can juggle? Okay, if y'all learn to juggle, it's going to help your vision on the court significantly. But regardless, I grew up loving basketball. I played AAU, played football too. I was an athlete. And I made this major shift that occurred in me with how I played the game. I was the type of player, I had no fear. I'd go up, I'd try to, 8th grade, I'd shoot a 3-point from the NBA line. And I wanted the defense to respect me. So I'd pull up, hit threes from the 3-point line, NBA line. I'd drive it in like crazy. And then in football season, in my sophomore year, I put on a lot of weight. I put on a lot of bulk. I went up to 174 pounds at my height. And the place I moved at the time, my coaches were like, well, we got taller players on our team right now, but because you have muscle mass, we need you at center. I know. So could you imagine me playing center? So I went from one type of player to being like Dennis Rodman. Who in here has seen Dennis Rodman play? Have you seen clips of Dennis Rodman play? Good. If you haven't seen it, you need to go watch him. Obviously, I didn't have the same hair as Rodman, but I had the same intensity. Shut down defense. No matter how much taller this person is than me, I'm going to box him out, and I'm going to win. So, something major happened, though. I developed something called a hydrocele. So, most of you probably don't know what a hydrocele is, but I'm an open book. It is fluid-filled in the testy. It started at one size, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it's like, oh, this is not comfortable to run and play basketball with. I probably need to get it checked out. So the doctor saw me. He's like, you know what? This thing's way too big. You got to get this thing in for surgery. So I went in for surgery, and in the surgery, they drained 2 cups of liquid from one of the sides of my testy. Oh, I know, painful, huh? You can feel the pain. So after this would change my life forever. I was given painkillers and anti-inflammatories, and that burned large ulcers in my stomach. So to try to correct that, I was given more meds, and to make a long story short, I went to all the best doctors across the country. I was sick every day. Felt like someone was punched me in the stomach all the time, and I was sick, I was nauseous, and I tried to play ball still, and I went from being a great athlete to my coaches making fun of me, telling me something was wrong with me. You lose friends, your family members start to hate on you, and my family lost a lot of their financial resources trying to get me help. But I could not find any solutions. So I was near the end. We even called this hospital called the Mayo Clinic. And they said, you've been to some of the doctors that trained us. They did the same test we would have done. There's nothing we can do. Good luck. So I was near the end. I was dying. I tried everything. All right? Everything method that the doctors told me to do, I tried it because I was all in. I wanted to get better. That was my mindset. My heart rate was only 36 beats a minute, which is really, really low. Your heart rate should be about 60 beats a minute. So 36 beats a minute is close to dying. My blood pressure was 80/40, extremely low. Our blood pressure should be about 120/80, so I was running about half that. I learned something amazing. I learned about something called voltage. Now, when you think about our body, the body is incredible. It's always healing, it's always renewing. And different parts of our body have different regeneration rates. So when we eat food in our stomach regenerates about every 3 to 5 days. Let's say we have a neurological injury, a nerve injury. That takes around 9 months to heal. So no matter what part of the body it is, the body can heal. And one of the secrets to healing is something called voltage. So there was this doctor back in the day. He studied salamanders. And salamanders are the only animal that can regrow tissue. So he did this study, and what he did was they cut off the salamander limb, and they measured the voltage of it, and the voltage of that limb skyrockets. And then as this salamander limb grows back, they measured the voltage again, and it goes back to normal. So this doctor, what he did is he took frogs. If you cut off a frog limb, it won't regrow. But what he did is he put a watch battery in it. and after he cut off this frog limb. And when he did that, this limb grew back because it's voltage. That's what it's all about. So if I was to measure the voltage of my thumb right now, it should be about minus 20 millivolts, okay? Let's say I accidentally hit my thumb with a hammer. My thumb's going to get red and inflamed and swollen. And when that occurs, that thumb expands, and you also get the voltage that should go up. And when that voltage goes up, it's healing, and then when the thumb goes and heals and goes back to normal, the voltage is back down again. I was near the end, but I used these principles of voltage, and I was able to heal and get myself better. I started noticing a difference within 2 weeks, and then within a year, I was completely better after being sick and almost dying for 2 years. So I knew that if there was hope for me, there's hope for anyone. Now, what I'm going to show you in this technology, it's amazing. Again, everything takes voltage to heal. When I was first introduced to this technology, it was incredible. I met this man at one of the conferences, and he had his thumb cut off right here. And so he used this biomodulator, what we're going to show you today on it. And then when we did that, half of his thumb grew back, nail, bone, skin, and everything. I saw it with my own eyes. I was like, oh my goodness. So, just because we're not salamanders, right? But we can use voltage, and we can heal, we can repair, we can renew. So, I'm going to tell you something about today called the autonomic reset, okay? Now, in our nervous system, there are two parts of our nervous system. One of them is called our sympathetic system, and that's our fight or flight system. In the day and age we're living in, there's a lot of stress. We're constantly in fight or flight mode. And when we're in this fight or flight mode, our body can't heal like it should. Now, the other interesting part about this system is when we're in fight or flight mode, our body tends to go sway back and forth, left to right. And when you create this imbalance in the body, it can affect not only your health, but it can affect your game. So the other part of the nervous system, and we'll circle back to that, but the other part of your nervous system is something called your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and your digest part of your nervous system. That's the part of your nervous system we should dominantly be in because it helps our body heal. But when your sympathetics are on and they dominate, it makes it so this parasympathetic system can't turn on. So we need to bring them into balance. And when your parasympathetic system is firing, your body actually has a front to back sway. Now here's the reason that this occurs. A lot of people think that the bones in our skull are fused. That's actually not the case. We got a pump up here in our head, and the bones in our skull actually move. And we got another one at our tailbone, and it pumps back and forth. It goes boom, 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 boom. Now, with this system, when this pump is working right, it's called the craniosacral pump. When this pump's working right, it pumps toxins and inflammation out of the brain and spinal cord, and it pumps healing modalities, it pumps healing and good nutrients back into the brain and spinal cord. So we want to be in this parasympathetic mode. Now, this is relevant to basketball. So what I've seen, most ACL injuries occur on the defensive side of the ball. And when your craniosacral pump is out of balance and you have that side-to-side sway, it creates this imbalance in your body. So when you're playing defense and you're off balance and you got this front side-to-side sway, you got more susceptibility to ankle and knee injuries. So what you're going to get to experience today, for those who choose, is this autonomic reset. It's going to turn back your parasympathetic system back on so you have more of a front-to-back sway. When you do that, you actually have better balance, and this is going to help your game. So what's cool about these principles is some of you may not be sick or injured like I was, but when you can know the body and you can know how it works, you can use it to your advantage. The other cool part about this autonomic nervous system is, again, when you're in a game, sometimes you get in this fight or flight mode. That's a natural part of the game. That's not a bad thing. But if you stay in this fight or flight mode when you're resting on the bench, you don't recover as quickly. So if you can get this autonomic system back in balance, when your coach has to take you out because you're tired, because I don't know about you, I was never able to play a whole game. I don't know about y'all. But when you go on the bench to rest, if your autonomic system is balanced, you'll have a faster recovery time. You'll be able to charge your body back up. And that's the power of these principles. And y'all are going to get to experience this today. Okay? If you so choose. Okay. Now, any questions based on what I talked about? All right. There's another cool thing. Again, I want to teach you things I know work. Now, I've seen so many athletes, and these principles of voltage work. Now, one of the things I told you about before is when I was sick, a lot of people were telling me, whether it was coaches, family members, friends that gave up on me, they told me that, yeah, you're not going to amount to anything. You're going to be sick forever. But your mindset is one of the most important things. If you can believe it, then you can do it, okay? But what's cool with voltage is when you have a positive mindset, it raises your voltage too. So the more things you can do to raise your voltage, the better it is. The better you heal, the happier you are, the better you perform on the court. Now, you're going to get to see this technology today that can help accelerate this process. But I like to try to teach you principles and positive mindset. Everyone else around you is going to try to be negative. I'll be the first to tell you. But the more positive you are, the more it raises your voltage. Now, I've had tons of athletes. I can't say who because of all these laws in healthcare. But
explain to these so they understand. You have professional athletes because they can't, because of their contract, announce an injury. So the NBA doesn't allow you guys to use their names. We use Tony, of course, but there are a lot of athletes because of their contract that they can't. Because this is unconventional. This is outside the box, right? Everything we're talking about.
Yes, correct. But I've had athletes come in with serious calf strains, serious ankle injuries, and the trainers told them, doctors told them, you know what, this thing's gonna be several months out. You'll be able to heal and be ready to go back and play full strength. But you can get people back within weeks using these principles, and it's a game changer. So, what? Yeah. So, when you know about voltage, which you've learned about today, you can take advantage of it to not only help injury recovery, but also performance. So, for this next thing I'm going to show you, I need a volunteer. I need someone who's 18 or older. I need someone 18 or older for this next one. One of the coaches, maybe, 18 or older, or players. Oh, here we go. All right. Cool. All right, good to meet you. What's your name? Ken. Cool. All right. Now, one of the important parts of voltage is I want you to think about your body like a computer or a cell phone. If for a cell phone or a computer to work, you need the voltage, right? You need software and you need hardware. Well, you get your hardware from good eating. So when you make good eating choices, best you can, obviously we're not going to eat perfect, but when you're trying to eat the good foods as much as possible, your fruits, vegetables, that's going to help. It's going to help the healing process significantly more. So I'm going to do a little demonstration to show you something else that's cool when you know about voltage. So we're going to do a little test here. I want you to take the tip of your finger and touch the tip of your nose there. Oh, sorry, wrong one. My bad. Do this one. Take the tip of this finger, touch the tip of your nose there. And back. Now you're going to close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch your finger. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch your finger. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch your finger. Ah, he's compensating. Close your eyes. Touch your nose. Touch your finger. Open your eyes. What'd y'all notice when I just did that test on him? He was off. Because every time he went here, and I met my finger here, he should have gone here now, right? He keeps going this way. All right. Tells us a story. We're going to talk about it in a second. Now, we're going to come over here now too. Okay. Close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. You see how it's basically adapting there? Perfect. Okay, we're going to go on this side. Close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Open your eyes. Same thing on this side. Y'all see that? Okay. We're going to bring this right here now. Close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. All right, he's adapting there. So this is a really cool test. This is called proprioception. So when I'm having his finger go out here and I'm doing that test, I'm testing something called the cerebellum. The cerebellum is the part of the brain that tells your body where it is in space from the side and backwards. When we cross midline, we're testing this thing called the opposite side frontal lobe. That's the part of the brain that tells your body where it is in space from the side and forward. So here's why this is interesting. You notice he's just a couple of inches off. And in basketball, it's a game of inches. If you're just 1 inch away, it's the difference between the ball going in and not going in, right? Now, his brain on the outside doesn't know where his body is in space. So if he takes the ball and he shoots it, his brain might think he's here, but he's actually here, and it's going to throw off his shot. Or if he thinks he's passing the ball over here, he thinks he's passing it over here. If his brain doesn't know where his body is in space, he might actually be passing it over here. So what I'm going to use, I'm going to show you this technology. You have a Transducer Pro? Perfect, thank you. All right. This is something called the BioModulator. This is what saved my life. I had to wear this on my body 24/7 to be able to have enough energy just to make it through the school day. So I'd have these patches that connected to this, and it sent voltage in right here and right here. People called me Iron Man. But guess what? It worked. All right? So here's the BioModulator. This increases voltage in the body. This is something called a transducer. This uses something called scalar energy, which is an advanced waveform that's making a comeback. Y'all heard of Nikola Tesla before? Yep. Cool. Nikola Tesla used this technology called scalar energy, non-Hertzian waves. So this transducer is connected in this BioModulator. So what I'm going to do here is the brain is kind of like a stick shift car. Now this is a dangerous analogy for me. I never learned to drive stick shift, even though I was a valet driver. But this part of your brain is like your first gear. And so your brain is able to shift gears, first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. And each lobe of the brain runs under a different frequency. So this back lobe of the brain has cerebellum that needs help. We're going to put something called delta waves in it using this transducer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this delta waves in his cerebellum. What's cool about this technology is it can penetrate into the skull, through the skull into the brain. So we'll just give it a couple of seconds here.
What do you feel when that's happening?
So question is for you, do you feel anything?
No.
Yeah, not everyone feels anything. Some people will feel something, but not everyone does. Okay, doesn't take long. We're going to get this side too. Now, I played like Dennis Rodman, and I had people that were much taller than me, and I had to be extra physical. Basketball is a physical sport. You get hits to the head, and when you get hits to the head, sometimes it throws this off. So that's why it's cool to keep this tuned in here. All right, here we go. Okay, now here's what I'm going to have you do. What? There you go. Love it. Okay, close your eyes for me. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. What'd you notice? All right, cool. Close your eyes. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch my finger. One more. Touch the tip of your nose. Touch a finger. There you go. His brain's just recalibrated. Thank you. All right. Pretty cool, huh?
Hold on 1 second. Scott, how much is that product?
$10,750.
Can you give it to me?
Yeah.
Oh, Brent, one second. Can you guys train Kendrick on this? This is yours. Wow. Build up to do the exercise.
Wow.
You'll be trained by these guys.
Love it. So, that's an absolute game changer, though, if you're in the game. Because, again, now, when he shoots the ball, his brain knows exactly where his body is in space. He'll be able to have better form.
We get all the players' voltage stuff for today? Yeah. Please, everyone?
Yeah, we got the time.
We got the time. Y'all are going to be ready. All right? Now, all of us, right? Coaches, too. The coaches need the mental.
Voltage up, everyone needs to be voltage up.
Now.
We gotta get like 3 of them for Steve.
Now, here's again what's cool with that. When your brain knows where your body's in space, it not only helps with performance, but you'll have less susceptibility to injury. So in the presentation like I just showed you before, where the cerebellum's off, it's going to make him lean forward more. And guess what? When he's on defense, if someone's going to try to break his ankles, he's more likely to fall forward because his brain doesn't know where his body's in space in the back. So not only important for offense, but defense as well. But also injuries. So there's some people I've had where it's both sides of their brain didn't know where their body was in space, and it makes them twist like this. The body's all about balance. The more you can be balanced, the better you can be, the healthier and better performance you can have. So what's cool about all this is I was able to get better. I'm now healthier than before I got sick. I'm not the 174 pounds I used to be because I'm busy treating people all day who need help. But I still play ball. I went back in the court and played ball. In fact, when I was doing my doctorate studies, we had a league. And this guy I went against, he was a Division I defensive end, about 6'6", 6'8". And he was right here. It was a free throw, and my team was shooting. How tall do y'all think I am? 5'10". Yeah, 5'10 3/4. I'll take the 3/4. So anyway, this guy's 6'8", and now I got the mindset. I always had the mindset, got the positive mindset I need. Because this guy's 6'8", he's got a higher likelihood of boxing me out, right? He does, right? He's 6'8". He's going to get the rebound if we miss. But you never let the person next to you, your opponent, intimidate you, because it's not about them, it's about you. So this guy's 6'8", and I'm right here. He's bigger, faster, stronger than me, but I'm channeling my inner Dennis Rodman. I box him right out, I get the rebound, and I put it back in. And my teammate was like, "You just boxed out a Division I football player." So raise your voltage through your mindset. And what's cool is you raise your voltage through cool techniques like what I showed you today. And the sky's the limit. Y'all are here because there's people around you that love you, that care for you, that believe in you. I believe in you, and you're going to have success in life, whether it's in the NBA, whether it's in doing something else. You put your mind to whatever you want to put your mind to, you'll accomplish anything. Thank you so much. All right.